Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So back in March of this year, this is what my garden looked like. As you can see, we still have snow on the ground, but I wanted to make a video of my garden season this year so I can learn from it. Now this is where we started back in March, getting our garden ready even though it was still snow on the ground. It was still kind of cold. Even though we had some warm sunny days, it was still cold. So now we are in June and I've got the garden pretty much planted out. In this bed, I wanted to try the Three Sisters method, the beans, the squash or pumpkin, and the corn. Now I went completely wrong on this. First of all, I used the wrong corn. I used sweet corn. It's not strong enough, I found out. The beans, yeah, I don't know if I picked the wrong beans or what, but yeah, here I am starting to eat already. So next year I'll pick a different corn. I'll probably stick with the same beans and pumpkin and try this method again. So here in this bed, I actually planted a few tomatoes. Over there, I planted okra. There's a hot peppers. On this side, I have a couple of rows of carrots. And then in this area here, I have red cabbage, green cabbage, and down here are some turnips and this dill that keeps coming back. And right next to it, I planted ground cherries, and here's my lettuce and onions that keep coming back. I didn't plant them there. And next to my onions from last year, I planted Swiss chard. And as you can see, potatoes. We planted a lot of potatoes this year. So in the next bed over, we planted spinach in this area. This is kale, and then back there is amaranth. So in the next area here in our pots, we have butternut squash, zucchini, and spaghetti squash. And this is a volunteer sunflower from last year that I did not plant here, but I'll let grow. And just looking down in here, I can see I have some zucchini already starting to grow there. So in between these 6 containers, probably not the best spot, but it's the space I have, more potatoes. And on this side, there's watermelon, honeydew melon, and cantaloupe. So that rounds out the fruit. Cross my fingers that we get some because we really like our fruit in this household. So over here to my next area, this is where most of my herbs are. These are the raspberries. Now these are the only berries that survived. We had raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries. That's the only ones that survived. This is what I still have to plant into the ground. Yeah, they're not doing so well. Yeah, these are the herbs. I've got some beans over here as well. Some things that I did not plant that are coming up really well that I don't know what they are. And over here in what I lovingly call my driveway garden, I have the garlic that I did plant. I've actually gotten some garlic scapes, and I'm really excited and happy about those this year because I want to try and make some pesto from them and freeze it so I can use it in cooking. Back there is a couple of dent corns that I planted. In this area here, I planted celery. These are carrots. In this area, I did a couple of medicinal plants. They're not really doing anything. I'm not sure they're going to come up. Here is my cilantro already bolting. I have sweet peppers back here, sweet potatoes. Here's my elderberries that are going yellow and again doing nothing. Another elderberry. This is hyssop. It's starting to go a little bit, but not very much. More sweet peppers back here, different varieties. And I planted some radishes right next to them in this area. And here is sorrel, and in the back there is another sweet potato. Another elderberry. Here I planted calendula, and then some strawberries, cucumbers, and onions from sets, and then mint, and that is my driveway garden. So here are the majority of my herbs. This sits right outside my kitchen door, so they're really convenient. And at the very bottom I have lettuce. So like thyme, parsley, basil, oregano, sage, lavender, that sort of thing. So I'm out in the garden today. Well, it's evening, cool down. And I just wanted to give you the one and only tour I'm going to give this year of my garden because I haven't had any time for it. As you can see, the weeds have taken over and things are not looking so great. Nothing really did that well. And yeah, I'm just so fed up with my garden this year. It's not even funny. But anyway, I already harvested some garlic out of here, and as you can see where the grass and weeds are taking over, that's where I harvest the garlic. I've got some more to harvest. But over this side, the tomatoes, all the tomatoes in this bed over here are voluntary from volunteers from previous years. Like this one right here, a volunteer. This one back there, a volunteer. These are dent corn. Out of 2 packages of dent corn, these are the only 2 that came up. And yeah, I stuck them over here. Why not? Because the sweet corn, as I will show you in one of the other beds, isn't doing so great. Some amaranth, didn't plant that. More amaranth, didn't plant that here either. I've got more garlic in the back, onions that were not planted here, but obviously these might be leeks actually. I don't know, but I didn't plant them here. So they're volunteer, and I don't know what exactly they are. There is some, I don't know if you can see way down there, some celery that I did plant, and it's being taken over by weeds. I desperately need to weed. I haven't weeded in about 2 or 3 weeks because I've been that busy. Here is carrots. I did plant those here. And another tomato, volunteer. Here I planted some medicinal sort of, I'll show you at the end what I planted here. And these came up. This, I did the picture on it and it said is purslane. I did not plant that. And this stuff is all over the place this year. I have never had it all over the place so much in all the 8 years I've been planting in these gardens. But yeah, as you can see, we can really grow weeds. Well, I can really grow weeds. And yeah, there's weeds everywhere. More tomato plants that are volunteer. There's my cilantro that is dead and gone. I've used it. We've eaten it. Yeah. Peppers. I did plant peppers. This is sweet potatoes. I did plant these here. They are looking sad, sad, sad. They came up really nicely. They were looking green. And in the past couple of days, they are going yellow. Yeah. Elderberries. Again, not looking great. This is hyssop. I did plant this, and yeah, it looks really nice. That's one of the things that did kind of take off pretty good. Back here is more peppers. There was supposed to be radishes. They did not take off at all. These are, we think is squash or pumpkin. We're not exactly sure because they are volunteers as well. Another tomato plant that is a volunteer. This is sorrel. I did plant this. This was actually from a plant I got from the farmer's market. So I tried to plant it from seed. It didn't take. And yeah, that I poured it. And it's going pretty good, but it's starting to go yellow at the bottom. I don't know. We've had so much rain. I think I can't stop the rain, right? And it's going to be raining again tonight. Here's another volunteer that we don't know what it is. We don't think it is cucumbers because that's the cucumber leaf. These I planted, so we think it's another pumpkin or squash. I don't know. Strawberries. These are onions I did plant from starts. My mint that died and I tried to replant it and nothing happened. Some of the strawberries I killed this year. Yep. And over here, this is the only fruits we have left. Raspberries. Quite a few of them over here, but we've had so much pest pressure that we've had to resort to putting up pinwheels to keep them away, and it seems to have done the trick because there are some in here that I really need to pick and the squirrels haven't gotten to them and the birds, so I guess it's working. My herbs did not do so well. There's some flowers that are starting to bloom, but none of these really took off in these towers. None. There's another strawberry plant I planted. I'm gonna come around here because this is another thing that has just proliferated. This thing I did not plant. I don't know what it is, and yeah, it's taken over down here in the strawberries, and I think this chamomile has as well. So yeah, I didn't plant that. The only thing I planted in here was the strawberries, and it's just taken over. So I'm gonna. This is my lettuce right outside the kitchen door, and we went away for 5 days and something decimated this. This was full lush when we left, and it's actually started to come back a little bit. It was gnawed off to the very bits. Yeah, more cilantro that bolted with the heat, and yeah, now it's this. And the rest of my herbs up here aren't doing well either. Yeah, that one was nice and green. Now it's not. Yeah, as you can see, those are 2 peaches that I actually did from seed. We'll see how well that goes. Basil's bolting. Everything up here is just looking sad, sad, sad. All my herbs right outside my door. So I managed to get all the walkways in here pretty much weeded out. Not 100%, but it's gonna grow back. But looks 1,000 times better than it did. And most of the beds I got weeded as well. Grass got cut. I tied up, pushed back the potatoes so I can just mow in front of here, and I was able to tie up everything that was down on the ground for the melons, the cantaloupes, and the honeydew melons. Some more I just realized that's got to be tied up as well, but found some more back here. Put a sling on that one, and I put a sling on that one. That's the next biggest ones I saw. And then of course there's a whole lot of small ones like that. I doubt if they're gonna make it. They look like they're starting to rot at the blossom end. This end right here is starting to rot away. That's a pretty big one. Maybe that one will survive, but we'll see. There's quite a few in there that I saw when I was pinning it up. And I also managed to get in here weeded pretty much good. But as I was weeding the other side, I still see more weeds in there. But yeah, it's 1,000 times better than it was, so I'm happy about that. And I didn't do anything back there. There were no weeds in there. Probably because nothing's really growing in there other than the pumpkin. Maybe that one beanstalk. But yeah, more tomatoes coming on. But yeah, otherwise than that, this is the garden after my weeding. And yeah, we'll see what grows. And hopefully, I see a hot pepper there. So maybe get a couple of hot peppers as well. But yeah, we'll see what comes out of this year. But this is going to be it for my garden tour, because I really just don't have the time to do this. I really don't. Yeah, so this is it. It's my garden tour for 2024. So it's the next evening, and I was able to get out and do quite a bit of weeding, as you can see. I got up all my garlic. Some actually had started to rot. I don't know if you can see that, but some of it is starting to rot. And I'm thinking the firmer pieces I might dry out and try to replant for next year's crop. So we'll see. Yeah, I managed to weed pretty good along here. Down this way really didn't need too much weeding. Actually none. I haven't come down this way. You can see a little bit of my neighbor's weeds are coming through, but oh well. It's better than it was yesterday. But I did manage to get up all my garlic, and here it is. It's a much better hole than I had in previous years, and I found 2 onions that I didn't plant over there. They're firm, and they're probably bigger than any onions I've ever grown. And these, when I was pulling them up, as you can see, I kind of nicked them with my little tool that I was using there. But I think I can use the rest of it and just use them up now. And this one I think I didn't do anything. This is probably the size it was when I put it in there. And I was able to do that because we had quite a bit of rain and everything is full. So this is just some of the garden harvest we had this year. If you want to follow me on Instagram at littlegreenpatch98 on Instagram, we post what we harvest in a day or the week or whatever. Just a little blurb without pictures of what we're getting out of the garden or what we cook for dinner or whatever. So if you want to follow me over there on Instagram, you can see what we're doing. Something that is not enough to make a video out of, but just a little snapshot of what we have going on at that point in time. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and click that notification bell to be notified when I upload videos. God bless, and remember, stay safe and keep prepping.